What's up, you nerds? Welcome back to Yellow Spandex. Today we're gonna go over some S.H.I.E.L.D. action. We're gonna go over some PS5 stuff, mostly Spider-Man, because that's pretty much all I want to talk about anyway.
I got some nerd news going on this week. It's nice to see things actually start like moving.
I know, right? There's actually things to be excited about now. We got all kinds of movies still in the pipeline, thankfully.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit of news before we jump in. We're going to talk later. We'll talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the first 3 episodes, but let's talk about, what's going on here. I'll see if I can put up my screen share or whatever.
I saw Tenet got pushed back to like the end of July, and then Wonder Woman's pushed back like to like October or something.
Yeah, I saw the Wonder Woman got pushed back again. Jeez.
And it looks like they're already planning on pushing it to Thanksgiving or later, because when AMC tweeted out the photo of Wonder Woman coming out in October, they accidentally used the wrong Photoshop graphic.
Oh, wow.
And so it says like Thanksgiving. Oh, my camera just cut out.
No.
Should we
still hear you though?
Or should we keep going?
I can edit
now
it.
It's back.
Are you back, Rod? All right.
But it's like, is it still image for you as well? I don't know why I picked that moment.
Yeah, it's frozen.
It's like,
yeah. Hang on.
No worries.
Oh, it's just stuck like that over here.
Yeah, just reset. I'll edit the crap. No worries.
Just trying to get this. Oh, there we go. Okay. I don't know. My phone just froze. Yeah. So the AMC, like, I guess, their marketing team must have prepared like a bunch of different images.
Yeah.
And they tweeted out like October, but the photo was like Thanksgiving or something, like on the marquee. So it was just like
funny.
It was like, oops. It's like already kind of like, yeah, we don't know when this is gonna come out.
You know who took the place of that October 12th? Or actually no, not October. It was August. The first date that Wonder Woman had is Bill and Ted now.
Oh, it is.
Nice.
Yeah.
I also heard that Ninja Turtles is getting one of those Fathom events for the original, because it's going to be 30 years.
Oh, wow.
I think it actually it actually was 30 years. I think it was like maybe a week or so ago. The lady Judith Hoag, who plays April O'Neil, they did like a live streaming event, and they had, I didn't get to watch it all. I'm going to totally go back and watch it. But I think they had Casey Jones and probably a bunch of the people that were the voices, the characters. I don't know if Feldman will be there or not. But
that's so cool.
Yeah, it looked cool. And apparently they're having like a 30th anniversary showing, and I'm definitely going to be going to that if that's happening.
That's awesome.
Cowabunga.
Yeah.
Yeah, the movies are funny because like, was it like Universal and Warner are just kind of like throwing stuff out there, and then Disney's sitting back and like, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Disney's like, we'll just keep pushing that back a little further.
Well, they're not even announcing dates. I haven't heard anything about Black Widow, and then Mulan is just like this great mystery. It's like, will it be on digital or will it be in theaters? Like,
well, same thing with Winter Soldier, Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like, I think they pushed that back even further. So I don't know.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not. At least we're seeing light at the end of the tunnel instead of this like darkness.
Yeah.
Even though there is more darkness in that Disney corner, I still have faith that we'll see those shows that we wanted to see. I mean, I have to, because if I don't, then who will? No, just playing.
I think the good news though is that Disney's made very clear that priority has been Disney Plus. Yeah. So, like, even through all of this, if they're going to focus on anything, it seems like all things point to the streaming stuff, because it's all anybody has. So there's a way to produce. I don't know. Have you guys read? Was it Variety posted like the new regulations to film under COVID?
No.
It doesn't sound like anything's going to be possible to produce, because like, if like Josh, I don't know if you've been on sets, but like Vince and I've been on a bunch of sets, and like it won't work that way. Like there's stuff like no craft service. I mean, that makes sense but like how you have people there, and then like I think some of this, like the staff has to come in like waves, and stuff. And
yeah, I'm sure there's probably like a number of people allowed within a set or whatever. But you know what? Like the stuff that I was involved in was largely like music videos or like some small, I think it was some Disney stuff that they were shooting at the recording studios that I worked at. To be honest, like they could par a lot of that down. Like, I mean, a lot of that stuff can get pared down with technology nowadays. And I know it's probably part of the union and whatnot that might be a little bit like, you need this people and you need this many and you need this or that. So I don't know, maybe there'll be these I don't know, because even some directors can shoot their own stuff. So I know that they might want all these extra people in there, but you know, in order for things to move forward, they might need to pare down.
But it's not just that. I mean, he even said like, you know, they can't really do sex scenes or fighting scenes because they said that having extended periods of hand to hand and stuff is like it's crazy. Like, and I know
they just have that MMA in Florida.
I don't know.
That makes sense though.
But they, you know, like
Florida.
It's just that it's going to have to change for it to be like plausible to film under those conditions, because I know like some shows can be like The Mandalorian and have like 4 people in a gigantic like screen around them and stuff, you know, but that's not going to work for every single, you know, production stuff, and they can't travel and stuff. It's, I don't know. It's either going to be like a bunch of like YouTube level content on TV, for the next 5 years, or something's going to change with it. You know, they're going to figure something out. So,
I mean, to be honest, like if a big like second wave comes, then this stuff's going to be clamped down. We're not going to have anything going forward. But if it's not, to be honest, like they started opening. There's a lot of cities here. I actually went out to dinner with my family the other day to celebrate their the kids obviously graduated. So we went out and celebrated that because, you know, it's been, I don't know how long, and they didn't get to walk in their graduation stuff. They didn't get to do any of that kind of stuff. So,
yeah. Well, I'm just saying with the regulations for the film production.
Yeah.
Like,
but I think that it'll start, if we don't get like a second wave thing, I think pretty soon here, they're giant corporations. They're going to be pushing for this crap if everything's okay. So
also like AMC is like saying that if this movie doesn't come out like in July or something like that, they're just done. Like they were like counting on Tenet coming out like in the middle of the summer to be like, we have one movie and I think you want to see it. Like,
yeah, I don't know though. Like, okay, so AMC then, I mean, they'll get bought up by someone else. I can't see like movie theaters just all shutting down. I mean, AMC might go out of business, but someone might rebuy them. I just don't see it going away.
AMC is already under like a gigantic Chinese conglomerate. And I think that's one of the things they said, like, it's a heavy possibility they could just choose to fold it and never do anything with it because it's not going to be viable for a while.
Yeah.
With however their business is structured. Because, you know, those big like umbrella corporations, it doesn't matter if it's like, you know, Kmart or a movie theater or, you know, like it's just dollars, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
Like to us, it's like, oh my God, the movie theater, you know, like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of stuff says it's already, you know, rolling. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Bill and Ted. So far, I'm guessing this is going to be a theatrical release. I didn't read if it was going to be online or not.
Well, I think Rod just said that it took the place of the original Wonder Woman one, right?
Yeah, that's what I had said, but I'm not sure if it was like it'll be in the theaters or if it's...
Wow. It says here in this article on Superhero Hype that they only have 78 minutes in that movie.
Ooh.
Wow.
Oh, well, wait. Embrace their destiny. So maybe that's the core part of the plot, and there's...
Oh, yeah.
You know, so like the 78 minutes is the real time part. Right. That could be cool.
Maybe like the world ends if they don't like release the song at that point in time.
They got to save the world, man.
Have you guys seen the trailer?
No. This week has been...
Do you want to watch it now?
Yeah, we can watch it.
All right. You guys see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Here we go.
1 month ago, you played in Barstow, California for 40 people, most of whom were there for $2 taco night.
How is that stealing if we're stealing it from ourselves, dude?
Death.
No way. How'd you like our song?
It's a little on the dark side, but you know, that's cool.
Oh man, that's cool. Right.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm so cautiously optimistic.
Yeah,
because like it could be really good, but they took on like a huge thing there, like potentially undoing the ending of the original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it better be good, and then it'll be classic. But if it's not, all of us are gonna pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah.
I just hope they go to the extent they went in the other movies. I mean, they really, really went like ridiculous, like John Malkovich kind of weird in the original Bill and Ted's. So especially with death and like all that stuff when they, die and have to go through their minds in order to find their bodies again. And then
they went to hell in the second one.
Yeah, and then Station. Remember the aliens, the two alien station that run in together and create a big one.
Yeah,
like they went so far in the other movies. I just hope, and Rufus and like.
Oh, that's gonna be sad though, because Carlin's dead.
Yeah,
they started this. CG. I don't know how many years ago. They're gonna CG Carlin. Gonna be like Tupac.
Probably. He's gonna CG his head on.
Yeah,
or like was it the
hologram?
Fast and Furious people.
He's gonna Obi-Wan Kenobi this one.
I hope they don't do the Fast and Furious thing. That looked awful.
Oh God, yeah.
I don't know. You know what's interesting is like I think I'm glad that Keanu Reeves had his like renaissance where people like love him. Because I'm watching it and it's great because of like the meme, like we love this idea of Keanu Reeves right now. But I think if we didn't like all love him, that performance we just saw would have been like, what the?
Yeah,
it feels
I don't know.
Someone a little older trying to still be 20 years younger,
Yeah.
I don't know though, like, because we got so much nostalgia going now, and like everybody who watched this movie is like our age or a little bit older.
Right.
And I feel like it'd be okay even if he wasn't as amazing as what he is, kind of become. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. One thing I do hope, like, it's going to probably be like a passing of the torch thing to their kids. I really hope that it's mainly about them. And then we see a little bit of passing of the torch to them and moving on. I don't want to see like 10 minutes of Bill and Ted and like the rest of the time is their kids. Like
it's a bait and switch.
Yeah. I mean, like that seems like most of the stuff that's going on right now. Same thing probably with, to be honest with how I feel Ghostbusters is going to be. Cause even Bill Murray was like, oh, we were only there for like 2 shots or something. And I was like,
I got that from the trailers though. That was mostly gonna be about that girl and those kids.
As long as there's enough of the fan service, I want to see all the little. And we already saw death in there, so as long as
that's gonna be awesome.
As long as they give us the fan service, I'm good.
Did you ever see Rocket Man, the Disney movie?
Yeah.
Oh, I love him. If you've never seen Rocket Man, it is a freaking hilarious movie. But the guy that plays Death is like another guy that goes to Mars with I can't remember the guy, Howard or Hunter.
He was in Half Baked.
He was in Half Baked. He's also in Sorority Girls or Sorority Boys or whatever it is. He's freaking hilarious. I can't remember his real name, but I think it's like Harold or something. But he's freaking hilarious in that movie, and the guy that plays Death is in it too.
It's really good.
It's a Disney movie that like just was horrible in the box office, just awful. But the cult following underneath it is just amazing.
Yeah, it's not good for any other reason but that.
All the gags are, and it's like PG. It's like kids movie. But like I took it to the dorm. I was like, you guys have to watch this. And my entire dorm back in my first college was like, we're not watching this. This is stupid. And by the end of it, it was like, Josh, this is the only movie you've brought to us, which we love. So,
oh, that's good though.
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out that guy's name.
Here, I'll pull it up. imdb.com/Rocketman. It'll probably bring up the new one. Here we go. Here, let me share the screen again. There we go. All right. Rocketman.
Yeah, there he is.
There you go. Harlan Williams. There you go. That's someone with an H.
Harlan Williams.
It is such an amazing movie. The guy
was Death?
William Sadler was Death. This guy.
Oh, yeah. William Sadler.
No, he's like a comedian or whatever. This is the guy that played Death. So, but he's usually like a bad guy. I think wasn't he a bad guy in Die Hard 2? I think the guy that played Death was a bad guy.
Maybe.
I don't remember if he was in Die Hard 2.
I'm pretty positive. It's like my least favorite Die Hard, but it's still fun. Die Hard 2.
Maybe that's why I didn't remember, because I don't like that one either.
He's also in Shawshank Redemption, apparently.
In the Mist.
Oh
wow.
That
Shawshank,
remake.
I definitely remember him. He was like one of the cops.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. That movie's amazing. So.
Like I said, he always plays like a guy that's like devious or bad or something,
Yeah, he plays a good bad guy, a good villain.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff here I'm looking at.
Protagonist.
Here's the president in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I didn't even remember that.
Oh, President
Apparently.
Ellis.
Oh, you're right. Because he was president in Iron Man 2 or 3.
That's right.
Wow, so this is when S.H.I.E.L.D. started.
Oh, yeah,
The
2015.
Yeah, because remember
16.
When they, I think it was Iron Man 3 when they had the Iron Patriot armor, they put the president in it, and it was him.
Oh,
That's
wow.
right. Holy
Such
crap.
a weird movie. I don't know why they did that. Anywho, all right.
Man.
What else do we got here? You guys still seeing this?
Yeah.
Still seeing it.
There was Miles Morales for PS5.
Yeah.
Supposedly it's just an expansion on the Spider-Man game universe or something.
Yeah.
So I saw a picture. Yeah, here it is.
Want me to play it?
Yeah, let's watch this.
Might have to cut some of this stuff out so we don't get like smacked by YouTube.
Marvel.
For a second, I was like, why would they put that in there? It's Vince.
A hero's just someone who doesn't give up. Your dad said that. He was right. Now it's your turn. Go be a hero, Miles.
Okay, let's do this.
Holy crap.
Nice. Okay, so are you saying it's like an extension of the last Spider-Man game? Or is it a new game completely?
I haven't played either. I haven't played the first game, and the article I read just had a bare mention in it, but it mentioned something about it like it's not supposed to be a sequel. It's supposed to be like an expansion, like not expansion. I don't know. It made it sound like it was like same world existing around the same time or something.
It looks like it's like a similar game, which I don't mind. I'd be all right with them just moving on to character. Like with that game, I didn't get to play it very much, but it looks amazing. And
I've played a little bit of the PS4 one, but not enough. I think it was our buddy Scott or somebody who played a lot of it.
Oh yeah, Scott's played a lot. The other thing that'll probably keep me from playing this though is that isn't PS5 like $700 or $800?
Yes,
maybe.
Yeah.
You think they won't have like a version for PS4 though? They're not going backwards. It's just going to be PS5.
I don't know. Yeah, that's always possible.
I don't know if PlayStation usually does that if they like backwards. I know Nintendo does every once in a while, but
I'm old, but like I remember when the Super Nintendo would release something, like the NES would get something that was just crappier.
No, I remember that too. But like I feel like now only Nintendo does that. You know, like they release Breath of the Wild for Switch, but then they'll just throw Wii U a bone for some reason.
Yeah.
But I don't know about the PlayStation.
They may just make a version for PS5 instead.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be a PS5 like launch title.
Well, I'm saying like the old PS4 Spider-Man game, they may re-release on 5 because that's what they do with all the other games.
Oh yeah, like the remasters and stuff.
Breath of the Wild stuff. Well, not even that. Breath of the Wild came out on Wii U, and then when the Switch came out, they repackaged it for the Switch.
Oh really? I thought they came out at the same time.
2017. I don't know if it was the same time or not.
Yeah, I thought they both dropped the same day.
Okay. I didn't know it was the same day.
Like, great. Like,
I don't have Nintendo past the original Wii, so I don't know.
Yeah.
In fact, I have 2 original Wiis, and both of the DVD drives are busted.
I'm super excited though. Yeah, the big thing is actually having to acquire a PS5.
Yeah. Have you seen the pictures of that thing? It looks
wild. It looks like the final boss in Mortal Kombat 11. Have you looked up Kronika?
No.
It looks like her body, and that you just take her head off, and it's her.
I think Boss Logic made one that made it look like it was the Sauron eye from the Twin Towers.
That's funny.
What does it look like? I haven't even seen
Hold on,
mock-ups or
I'll
anything.
pull it up here. PS5 pictures.
You look at the one when standing up. Yeah.
There we go. There's 2 different versions.
Oh wow.
There's one with comes with a CD on the side, and
that's the official image we've been seeing everywhere, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I guess they have a couple different colors too, like black and white, and I don't know if there's more than that.
Now look up Kronika, Kron. and it should start
R-O-N.
R-O-N. MK11. Click on the full body ones. It's her without a head.
Nice.
There's been so many memes in Mortal Kombat groups. Like, look at the PS5 design.
It's the Chronica 5. I mean, PS5. Yeah, that's
probably shouldn't look at too many of these pictures. I have to look at them all. We might need to get and censor that part out. Who knows? I'm going to go back before we get in trouble. I'm always like, girls don't use the Google image search ever.
Right. We'll get past the copyrighted stuff.
Yeah.
But should be fun. They usually do a good job with those, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, Spider-Man is PlayStation's Mario.
Pretty much.
Yeah. It sucks because that's one of the things that made me want to get a PS4. But I always come back to whenever there's something new coming out, like when Zelda came out with Breath of the Wild or anything else like that. It was, me wanting it, but at the same time, like if I get this thing, I'm just gonna spend too much time on it. Like I'm just gonna, my life is gonna be like into it, and I've got too many things in the fire right now, including my kids. So maybe not in the fire, but
I wonder if we could
fire for everything else.
I wonder if we could name all of the consoles mascots, like their original mascots.
Mascots, eh?
Yeah, like all right. So, or I don't know if I'm saying it right, but obviously, Nintendo would be Mario, right?
Oh, okay.
Super Nintendo would be Mario. Sega would be Sonic. Guess what?
TurboGrafx 16, bonk.
Oh yeah.
You guys would already know PlayStations. You guys should know already PlayStations.
Yeah, it's Spider-Man because like the funny, like it came down to the
Spyro.
Spyro. Okay.
Spyro was the original game that comes with PS1.
Banjo-Kazooie or something. What's the one that used to be on there?
Or no, it was that other game. No, that was Dreamcast. What was the one for Dreamcast, Rod? The one where you fly around, Magic or something.
Dreams.
Dreams.
Like Into Night or something.
You're that like
Dreams or something like that.
You're that like weird character and you fly around.
Oh, it was Nights into Dreams.
That's what it was.
We had I think Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal.
A few other titles were like Resident Evil, which I always hated that first Resident Evil game. It was just such weird controls. Like we'd like stab the zombie and he'd be like, and the zombie would like walk to the left. I'm like, dang it, so slow.
Yeah. I always waited for Resident Evil games to get better, and I stopped playing them before they did.
Apparently they're good now, but I don't know.
Yeah.
We had this other game that was nuts. Parasite Eve, I think it was.
I remember. I never played it, but I remember that.
It was kind of creepy. It was weird. Like, I liked it, but it's just, there's one time where you had to go up an elevator and there was like 100 floors and you got screwed. If you died anywhere, you had to start at the bottom again. So it was like, my brother kept going and I'm like, I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm out, man.
I'm trying to think of Xbox. I don't remember if Xbox had like a game.
I feel like Xbox was Call of Duty.
Yeah. Xbox I'm lost at because that's the point where I was stopped gaming altogether. So I was like, I don't have the money for this. I don't have the time for this.
I feel like Atari was like Tanks was like Pong. One of the first games. Pong and Tanks. Yeah.
Spider-Man became so entwined with PlayStation. It wasn't PS3 like the font was the Spider-Man font for the PS3 logo.
Yeah. Or the Sony font kind of became
the
Spider-Man font. I don't know. Yeah. Do you think you think Disney would ever be in a place to buy that back? Because I don't know. Like if Sony, even if they just tanked Spider-Man forever, I don't think they'd ever want to give it up just because it seems like it's their Mario,
Yeah, it's the only thing that they have that's continuously like a guaranteed, even the bad ones make money.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd be really dumb.
It won't happen forever though, man, because you see how X-Men's been treated. It took, 10 years before everybody's got pissed enough to be like, I hate these movies. It happened eventually.
Yeah.
Maybe quicker than you think nowadays.
Yeah.
See, although, everything is, I don't understand how economics works because like you think you understand and then you hear about who's thinking about buying who and then you suddenly just don't understand, So like I just heard rumors this week that like Warner Brothers is trying to sell WB Games.
Mm-hmm.
and then someone said something about Sony picking it up or like looking at it at least, and it was like, okay, sure, like. So they'll have like Spider-Man and like Mortal Kombat and DC characters. This is so weird.
Yeah, that's a weird acquisition if that happens.
Yeah. Well, let's get a couple more things before we get going. I haven't read this article yet, but apparently Jason Reitman, who is already thinking about a Ghostbusters Afterlife sequel.
Ooh.
And even if you say that, that's like, you better be knocking on wood, dude, because it could still be amazing, and just for some odd reason it crashes.
I'm just waiting to be able to see this new one.
So it says
we don't know when this is. It could be next year.
Is that true? It says next month.
It was supposed to be.
It's moved to March 5th, 2021.
Oh, I was joking about being next year, and there it is. I mean, it makes sense because all these movies that aren't the top tier, the only ones we're talking about are like Tenet, Black Widow, Wonder Woman, and like it like, but everything else, like all the other like movies, like there's a like some kids film thing. Anyway, some other stuff that aren't like high priority.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like, we're putting it out like in a year and a half now, because why?
I saw New Mutants got a date.
I
think we already knew
again?
that.
Yeah, I think people just stopped paying attention.
Seriously. It's like, that'll come out whenever.
Yeah, I was watching the end of Infinity Crisis.
Oh, how did that go for you?
It was nuts, man.
Crisis on Infinite Earths or whatever.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I sat in on a couple episodes with Vince.
Yeah.
I'm going to get this straight here. So I sat in on this episode where Ralph, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about Ralph other than he got kicked off the show because something racist he said. But he's on there, and then his mom, who looks about roughly the same age, is like, he's like, wait, that guy is alive, and she's like, oh yeah, like I just didn't want to break your heart, and then he's like, every time, and then this whole thing came up, and then it kind of came over me, and I like look over Vince, I'm like, he believed that all his mom's boyfriends like died, like all of them, and he's like, yeah, and then Vince was like, which it's funny because he's a detective. I'm like, he's a detective. That's
he's
his
a private
character?
eye.
And he didn't know that like 7 men. So I told Vince, I was like, dude, if you had like dated, and then you were telling me about all these people you dated, and they all turned up dead, I would love you, but I would still call 911 because there's something fishy there,
Yeah. It's really weird too, because I feel like there's 2 characters like that in DC, and there's probably actually more if I think about it. You got elongated man, who's that is, and then there's Plastic Man, and I feel like they're trying to kind of like push both of these characters together. Like Plastic Man's kind of like the sarcastic, weird, whatever, and elongated man's kind of more, at least, I don't know, down to earth kind of
more of the
person.
hero.
Yeah. And yeah, I think Plastic Man originally in at least one of his origin stories was like a thief or something.
Like how in one of the Flash universes, his name was Plastoid.
Yeah. So like it's funny. I think they even joked in one of the episodes where like, you should be Plastic Man, and he was like, that's dumb. And then someone's like, elongated man, like that's great.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That's what the people called him. The elongated man.
So what did he say? Okay, so among the tweets users surfaced in the past 2 weeks are one from 2012. He wrote, "The only thing keeping me from doing mildly racist tweets is the knowledge that Al Sharpton would never stop complaining about me." Okay.
Remember the 2000s, we were trying to be edgy.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably just an edgy, dumb joke. That's 2012.
Edgelord.
And then 2014, he tweeted, "Enjoyed his secret boob viewing at an audition today." Several tweets referring to assaulting women, and one reads, "Date rape myself so I don't have to masturbate." I mean, he's just trying to be stupid.
That's horrible.
Yeah, and I mean, Gunn got kind of something similar, where he would just say stupid garbage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like these are really as horrible as what they're kind of putting them out to be.
I don't know. They're pretty stupid.
Yeah, they were dumb.
A boob viewing.
Yeah, like yay,
and like drugging yourself.
Yeah,
it actually sounds like more of a cry for help than an actual anything else.
Yeah, who knows?
It's like
But
Tiny Rick.
they're probably gonna. That's true. They're probably gonna recast him for the next season because apparently I didn't watch this whole last season. Apparently they kind of tied up like a story for him and another girl to kind of go off and have their own story. So I don't know if maybe they'll recast him.
Where I'm at, Flash just passed the torch to him.
Mm.
So he's leader of the team now because Cisco got rid of his powers.
Oh yeah, dang! How far back are you?
But I'm past that now because the Monitor gave Cisco his powers to do the whole crisis thing. So now I'm right in the whatever last season of Flash. I haven't started the last season yet.
I could be wrong, but I think something happened with the actor that was going to play Cisco. Like maybe he had gotten another gig somewhere else or something. And I think they were going to exit him from the show. I'm not 100% on this.
Gotcha.
And so they took out his powers and he was going to leave.
I have to say though, like you can tell how comfortable all of them are now that they're in like season 6 or whatever.
Yeah,
and
they work together really well.
The episodes are so much more well written and well rounded, and they feel so good. It just sucks that it takes them like this long to get it that good.
I feel like the charisma is great between the characters, but like
Yeah.
I don't think the stories are great. I think they're actually worse. I think they get way, especially from the first season. They're like we're running out of things. And
I thought
Flash,
Savitar was kind of neat. I thought
Savitar
Fawn
was okay.
was a great character.
But we keep bringing in these speedsters.
Yeah.
I liked Grodd. I liked those and King Shark and stuff like that. Where it was just over the top craziness.
Oh yeah.
What episode was it that I sat in on? And it was like they introduced this thing at the beginning, like, oh, we have to get Cyrus. Is that his name? Or Cicada? We have to get Cicada. Like he's still a threat. And they built it up over like 2 minutes. And I was like, oh my god. And then something else happened. And then, like at the end, I look over, it was like, what happened to the cicada thing at the beginning of the episode? It was like top priority, and now they're like on this other thing, and half of them are on vacation.
Yeah, that was weird during the cicada thing. They're like, we should have some time to have a vacation or something. I was like, you do realize it's gonna like be catastrophic,
Yeah.
Like, nah, it's fine.
That's some odd choices there.
But then, like every DC show now that at least I've seen. Has an element of like we could just reset time at some point too if you want to do that.
Yeah.
Well, that one though, I mean, rightfully so. They've kind of said, hey, anytime we go back, it causes unforeseen problems.
Yeah.
They even talked about it with Nora and whatnot. Like you go back, you're gonna screw stuff up. So don't do that. Even if you try to make something good, it's kind of like the monkey's paw. It's gonna make things something's bad's gonna happen.
Yep.
But it's funny because it's like the Watcher in the Silver Surfer animated series.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying all the things that he can't do while he's doing them. They're like, we can't reset time like I'm just about to going to do now.
Exactly. We shouldn't do this ever, and I'm going to do it right now.
Except now. Oh, it's like, okay, we all agree not to do this. Lex Luthor shows up like, what the fuck, man? Like,
well, to transition a little bit into S.H.I.E.L.D., let me get out of the screen share thing. As like the last episode of last season was like, we probably shouldn't bring Coulson back as like an LMD, and then like smack button, you know, like okay. So how do you guys feel about the new season so far?
It's just so weird to see Coulson like doing Coulson things and moving like Coulson, talking like Coulson. And then just knowing that it's not him, man. It's an LMD.
I kind of like it though that he understands that. He's like, why? Like, okay, I'm just here. Like, I guess destroy me at any point in time you need to.
I did happen to enjoy the way that they showed us him getting all his memories within seconds. They were all just like coming to him all at once.
Yeah,
and he was like, oh, freaking out. And finally, he was like, "Why did you do this? The real Coulson didn't want you to do this."
Yeah, I love all that kind of stuff that continues. Even in like the second episode or whatever, where they're like, we shouldn't do this. And they understand, like, we know we can't kill somebody in the past. It'll change the future or whatever. But then Daisy's still like, just do it. Like,
yeah.
Whoa. Like, are you stupid now? I thought we've gone through this whole thing here. You should be better than this. Like character development.
Yeah. I mean, she's not the director either.
Yeah.
And to put dude in position where he could have killed Malik. That was a tough call. Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah.
What's his name? I always forget his name.
Deke?
Okay,
yeah.
Deke is like the least likable person to me for some reason.
That's probably why I can't ever remember his name.
I like Deke. He's funny.
There's something about just the character he plays, with the way they do his makeup or something, is his face looks like it hurts. Like, because the expression that they have him hold for this character,
Yeah.
So there's always this tension when he's on the screen. I just get like tense.
Well, I guess that's good. Maybe, I don't know. I don't tend to like period pieces, but I think and sometimes, especially nowadays, because of the technology, and I feel like it's kind of a cop out, like go back into the day, so it's cheaper to shoot. We don't need all the technology and whatnot. But I don't really feel like they did that, because the Chronicoms are back in 1955. Like you're still seeing a lot of like future tech in the past.
Yeah, and
you're learning a lot of things too, like little holes that are that we didn't get to see, that we're kind of getting to see now with Sosa and Simmons trying to be Carter, and like I can't remember.
That was really fun to see. It was kind of like a nice little overlap.
I like that they brought Sousa back.
Yeah, and Sousa dies, or he's supposed to die like a hero. So
I meant the fake Peggy Carter. I thought that was like a fun.
That was really neat. Cheeky.
Know.
Because he was playing it off like, the infamous Carter. I've never met the Carter. And then when she finally figures it out, he's like,
It's funny that she knows his name, like, and all the stuff that's connected to him, but she doesn't recognize his face.
I know, right? I mean, the dude's a legend when it comes to S.H.I.E.L.D.
She's like, oh, you were the former whatever. And like, you probably should remember his face if you know all that information.
Yeah.
But like, I'm screwed immediately.
As soon as I saw the legs come out with the cane, I knew it was him.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see. It took me a second, even after they said like, oh yeah, I know her.
It was cool. I like that. I like that they're spoilers, obviously, for anybody watching this. If you haven't watched the first 3 episodes, they're all on Hulu. So go over there. I like that, like, the first 2 episodes are based in the 40s, right?
Yeah.
30s?
Was it? I thought it was like the 20s or 30s.
It was before World War II. Maybe it's his 20s. It might be 20s. I think you're right.
I think it was right before it was during Prohibition. So
yes. So I like that they're jumping. I like it's kind of like a little bit like Sliders, to where like they're trying to slide into the next, whatever. And what I'm kind of worried about. Yeah, well, Enoch's fine. He's like, I'll just live and I'll wait here until it's kind of like the DeLorean. Got stuck back in time and just go back to the cave when you get here.
And what is this? The second time he's gotten left behind and had to live through all the years in order to catch up.
This is also like the first time, because what's that show I hate, Legends of Tomorrow? Does something similar with sliding between decades.
It does. It's very similar.
But it doesn't make sense in that one, because he acknowledges every episode they can just go back to the very beginning and undo all of this. but like in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it actually, in one sentence, they explained it. They're like, we're just basically drifting, like on their wind. So that's the reason they're sliding to these decades, because the Chronocoms are, and they're just like riding the wave with them.
Like we don't have that. Basically, we don't have like the energy to do any kind of major jump from here or there. It's funny too, because don't you need fuel and whatnot for the jet? So where are you going to get that from? And
unobtainium.
Yeah, exactly right. So I like that the opening of the show too is changing with the decades that they're in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, with his like the alien commies from outer space or something like that. It was like
that was my favorite one so far.
So they're still stuck in the 50s after this new one, right? They haven't jumped yet.
It looks like they're still stuck there. They haven't
Okay.
been like, oh, we have 17 seconds.
So it'll probably be next episode that they jump. I am kind of cautious about this because I want like a really great finale for this show, and I feel like far too many shows just kind of peter off. Like they might have been good for 3 seasons, maybe 5. But the last season, it's like there's not enough people watching it, or they just don't have the money, or even the execs a lot of times are like, yeah, that show's old. Let's get a new one.
Yeah.
And so they'll put it on. What was the day of the week that was like the worst? Was it Sunday? I can't remember. Or Monday. One of those days, it was like that's the death. If you're going to be saying goodbye to a show, that's the day that you put it on. What's nice though, now we don't really have that. We can watch it whenever we feel like it, even though this does come out on Wednesdays. But I'm worried that it's only because I think it's only got like 10 episodes, right? I think it only has like 10 episodes ish, or maybe 13 at the most, because there's only supposed to be half a season.
Yeah.
And I'm worried that we're not going to get like that great, like amazing goodbye, So
yeah, because that one, the original one with like Coulson and May being on the island, like that would have been like such a perfect, like with everything in the show.
I could have probably dealt with it, but it still wasn't that season short too.
I don't remember how long that one was.
I think it only started at, I think it took like a year and a half for that show to even come out. And it started in January, and I think it ended in May.
I guess it was split seasons, so they felt like really short.
Yeah, I'm going to look it up. But how do you guys feel about that? I don't know.
It's interesting. I'm at this exact same level as I was, when I got into the show. Like, I'm not more excited, but I'm not like disappointed at all.
I tend to enjoy the inter monologues of characters, like when you finally get to see them break down and have these like freak out moments where they're the hero, but like May, she started getting overwhelmed, and then all of a sudden she started like breathing heavy, and then she fell to the ground, and like anxiety and everything took over, and it's all from obviously dying and coming back to life. And then same thing with Yo-Yo, like you're getting to know all her inner struggles in this series with trying to gain her speed back by being infected by an alien parasite or whatever that the strife was. So it's just like, I don't know, it's really interesting to me to get these like inside views of these characters, because it's just further expanding their universe as the main characters of the show. Because I feel like we know the most about Coulson and Quake, because they literally spent an entire season on just them.
Well, we've killed off so many people from this show.
Yeah, Lincoln and
Lincoln.
Everybody else.
Oh, who's the other guy that they were like going to try to bring back, that they wanted to bring back?
Who was the
black dude that was not Tyrone. What was
Trey or something like that?
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Man, he was like a major player the first.
Everybody loved him too. Trip. There you go.
And then now we forgot. That's how history works. Crap.
So there's only 13 episodes last year, and there's only 13 episodes this year.
That sounds about right.
That's sad though. I mean, like, so we'll have what, 2, 4, 6, 8,
10 more,
10, 12, and then maybe a last one. So like maybe they jump quite a few times here, and I don't know, they'll jump like 4 more times or 5 more times.
Man, if they're doing that, I cannot wait for like 80s, 90s jump.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I'm trying to like grasp what the end of this is, because right now we have no idea what's going on. They're obviously trying to beat the Chronicoms at their own thing, but what else? Is that it?
Like, is this all we're doing? Is just trying to stop the Chronicoms? I mean, like, I feel like that's kind of a weak plot. Like, just get them. They're trying to ruin everything.
I mean, they did throw Hydra in there, and the rest of the world's timeline. So I don't know. Maybe they'll throw some twists and turns.
Yeah,
that's something I thought that was interesting about this season. Was I don't think it was on purpose, unless somebody on the team is a psychic. But like, they kind of explained whatchamacallit. I lost my train of thought. The show. I don't want to make this a political thing, but like kind of the idea of is, assuming ideally of immunization, but like instead of biological, like socially, because they were like, the whole argument was like, let's cut off Hydra here, and they're like, but then S.H.I.E.L.D. won't be created, and it's like, but they won't need to. It's like, but there's other threats that S.H.I.E.L.D. had like taken care of, and I just never had crossed that bridge of like historic or socially like kind of quote unquote immunization, like where like something bad created something good that took out a lot of other fires and stuff. It's like, oh my God, there's probably like social studies experts that knowing this already. But me, I'm like, what? And that's the whole reason they're like, we can't get rid of Hydra.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, didn't we? I mean, in World War II, we were with Stalin, so
yeah.
like, hey, we love him.
Yeah, kind of. We're kind of dealing with that in the Marvel side, or no, the DC side too, with the whole crisis on Infinite Earths and whatnot.
Like, enemy of my enemy is my friend, kind of, or at least my ally at that point.
Where the Monitor, Mar Nouveau or whatever, is the reason the Anti-Monitor is a thing in the first place, and why all Infinite Earths were destroyed is all because of something he thought was good.
Yeah, I really wonder how that universe is going to continue now that Arrow is out of it. I haven't listened to the podcast yet, but I know that Stephen Amell, like, had like a panic attack trying to be on when he was on Michael Rosenbaum, the guy that originally played Lex Luthor in Smallville. He has his podcast, and he went to go be on it, and he had like a panic attack, and it's like, I can't do this right now. And so apparently he had, just a lot of stuff. I heard that he wasn't very happy with the ending and all those other things. Obviously this is a big probably move for him. He's ending a big show that he was in, like. And the Turtles thing, I feel like, when is the other big thing that he was kind of a part of. So, like, what's he got kind of going on in the future? He also had a couple kids, I think. So I know that when I had kids, that's when I started having like actual panic attacks. So I was like, what is going on? I'm having a heart attack. Like, the doctor's like, nah, you're having a panic attack.
Yeah. I mean, he's done a bunch of, I know he does like Netflix things too. There's a movie called like Code 8 or something like that he has out.
Yeah, let me look him up. I love him. I think he's a great actor, dude. And I don't know if you ever watched the honest trailers of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies, but
at some point
they're like, it was just dead on. I would like Casey Jones, like, oh, he's like this, guy against, he doesn't like the police. He's kind of his own like Batman kind of character, and like, let's make him a police officer. Like, what? Like, I don't know. It was a great one of those. Trying to look up this while I'm talking at the same time. All right, so Arrow, he was in Regenesis.
Oh yeah,
I never saw that. Code 8, he was in that. He's in this show called Heels right now. It's in pre-production. He's this guy named Jack Spade, apparently. But that seems to be one of the only things he's doing right now. So
it was funny as I'm watching his death at the end of Crisis. I'm like, under my breath, being like him, like, I don't want to do another season.
Say that we were watching that. Was that his last moment?
Yeah, that was where he dies. I mean, his season continues.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I think his last thing is like, you have failed this universe or something.
But that's his line. That's his line.
So line, but it was that
you have failed this city is what the line is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he shoots an arrow.
And he kills him.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I kill people, but then I don't. And then I do again.
Yeah.
That show has these funny choices that have to be dictated by some sort of production limitation. So in this, they had that epic fight right before the arrow dies.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, this actually looks really cool. And then at some point, was the Flash and the chick in the white bodysuit.
White Canary.
So she's like, take me up there. And it's just the two of them with the arrow. And I was telling Vince, like, I want like a sketch show to do what the other people are doing in these scenes. Because there's like, why didn't all of them go up there? Because, it's like, well, we only spent a shooting day with like 3 people.
Yeah.
Like, so we bring up, but it's like they're just sitting down there like, you hungry? Oh, you want to get something? How long are you going to be? Like, what's going on?
With all those like ring wraith looking things that were going around, and you see them like, I mean, it's kind of a cool shot, but like, it's so computer animated that like my mind is constantly thinking like, all right, guys, imagine all these things are flying around you. Just start pushing your hands out at them. Like, they're all like, wah, wah, wah. And it just looks, there's no person there. So whenever they like kind of cut through when it disappears, it's just, I don't know. My brain goes, okay.
Corridor Digital did this VFX artists react to Supergirl.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't seen it, it is hilarious because I don't watch Supergirl.
Yeah.
I showed Vince this one where they talked about all the things like, why would they try to do CG face? And why would they do this? And then this one point, you could see that they just rotoscoped her outline out and used a still image and keyframed it across the screen.
Yeah.
And they're like, wait, what?
I think Martian Manhunter is like one of the most disappointing things of Supergirl.
Yes. I mean, Supergirl in general, the first season, it had some good stuff to it. And so I'm like, oh, this is good. But it was also on ABC. So I figured they probably had like the budget behind it.
Yeah.
And then when it moved over to the CW, it lost all of that. It became one of those CW shows, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't like this show anymore. So we just stopped watching. I think it was the end of the second season. We're like, nah, move on.
Like Arrow, I felt like was one of the best out of all of them. Also, Black Lightning is actually a really good show.
I caught a few Black Lightning. That is pretty fun. Arrow was great for the first 2 or 3 seasons. Same thing with Flash. Flash is great for the first 2 or 3 seasons. And
Zoom
then
was a hell of a season, man. I feel like Zoom was maybe the best bad guy.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. I don't know.
It was the scariest.
But it's always stinking speedsters. Like everything is speedsters. Like all of it.
It's the Flash. It's not called Vibe. The Vibe.
Yeah, but he loses people all the time.
Yeah.
I lost this guy that's just running, like out running somewhere. I can't run. And then like also at the same time, he's like, I searched the whole city in 2 minutes. Like,
yeah.
Why couldn't you have found that guy that was off, like just running down the street? He has no superpowers.
Yeah. But there's some wacky scripts.
I just told Vince, like, I think I figured it out with the DC shows that I've seen so far. It's like the whole thing is just the NPCs in video games.
Yes.
Like both acting and their dialogue. It's like you walk into a room just in time for Cisco to be like, and that's why the supercomputer is so important that we don't push this button or it'll blow up later. You're like, why did that conversation happen?
Yeah. I can't remember what they used to call it, but in Star Trek, they'd always put like a name like in the place of like whatever gadget they were talking about. And they're like, oh yeah, the thing. Like that's like Cisco. Oh yeah, I can make a thing that fixes this thing, and then you can go fight him.
Yeah.
And they're like, great, do the thing. Like
make the thing.
Exactly. Hold on. Same thing with Caitlin. Like Caitlin's like, I can make this bio thing and inject it and it'll do this. Like, yeah, okay, do the thing.
And then the audience at home is like, oh, why didn't I think about that?
I mean, it was a good show. It had a good run. I feel like it can't last that much longer.
I mean, I spent the time and watched all of Flash. So
I didn't watch this last season. I mean, after Crisis, I was kind of like, I think I'm done with this DC stuff. I just don't like the TV stuff is just not very good.
My whole point was just to get through Crisis. So now that I'm there, I may not even finish. I don't know.
You haven't gotten through the whole Crisis thing?
I'm done with Crisis, but there's still, a half a season left of Flash, half a season left of Arrow. So I don't know. Also, I think, what is it? Legends of Tomorrow, that's the first hour or like the third hour of Crisis. So there's still a whole season left of that.
I for a second, I thought that show was over. I was like, oh, great. And then we bring it back.
Black Lightning wasn't really a huge part of Crisis, but
It's cool though to see them all together. I was happy about that.
So it's cool in a sense of to tie this all together is like everything's kind of coming to an end in the sense of this is maybe S.H.I.E.L.D's last season, I guess. Yeah. Like this is Flash's probably last season. Arrow just died. Like seems like all of them are kind of like trying to figure out what to do next.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you got Stargirl. I haven't watched any of that yet. There you got, I think, 3 or 4 episodes into that.
Every time I see her photo, I think it's Miley Cyrus.
It does look a little bit like, but I mean, it's got Luke Wilson in it. So like, it's got to be at least a little bit funny, just to be honest, we see him in it. So
yeah,
I love his acting, just him being goofball is normal, but.
And Stargirl, wasn't she like from the Social Justice Society of Justice People?
Social Justice Society. I think it was a Justice Society of America, I think.
That one.
I don't know what they're going to write this time around. So, but that's the original one. Yeah.
Yeah. With the staff and all that. Yeah.
So
we'll see where that goes.
She's a relatively new character though. I mean, she was just created, I think about 2004. So
yeah, and then Batgirl or Batwoman.
Only 15 years ago.
So
yeah, that is kind of a weird thing to say. Like I remember being like in the 90s, my dad would be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, in the 70s," and I was like, "Oh, that's ages ago." And like, what we're in the 2020, like, "Oh, in the 90s," like, "Oh, that's ages." No, it's not.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
yeah. Oh man, what was I gonna say? I think it was that. Nope, lost it again.
Sorry, it's my bad.
No, it's all good.
What do you think about Fitz? Sorry to get back to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. What do you
Yeah.
think about Fitz and Simmons?
I think it's again like another one of those things where it kind of bugs me in the sense that they'd already had done this to us. You know, the whole last season was like the secrecy between Fitz and Simmons, how they figured this whole thing out. Like Fitz is in the future, Simmons has to like, and then the mind meld with the Chronicoms and all that crap. Like, oh man, it's like more of that this time. So now we can't know where Fitz is because of something. And Gemma is like Agent Carter. I don't know. There's a lot of things happening right now.
I'm gonna say, I think because whenever they start to talk a little bit about it,
She's from the future.
Yeah, I think that she's dead. I think she is an LMD, and I think Fitz might also be maybe part of the computer or something like that, to where they're going to bring him in. And I think they've already lived their lives. I think they mentioned something about it took them a lifetime to get this thing to work.
Although, you know, the tell for that would be at the end of the last episode, if you go back and watch the ending and see if Gemma passed out when the thing went off.
When the EMP
went off.
Yeah.
Or if they even showed her. If they specifically didn't show her, then that might be a tell of like, you're right. Like
That's
and
true.
then that's what we're going to see in the next episode, I guess. You know,
Actually, you know what? I'm going to pull that up. You guys talk amongst yourselves while I'm pulling that up.
Because Coulson's LMD passed out, the MP, so you just, and so the Chronocoms, so you'd assume that if Gemma was, if they showed her and she didn't pass out at that, then that's either a huge story loophole that they've left in there if they do decide to go that route, or they're telling us that that's not it. So
yeah, that's interesting. Because, I mean, I guess it wouldn't tell us a ton. It would let us know a few things. Like if we find out that Gemma's a LMD.
I think that they probably wouldn't show it, because if they knew ahead of time what they're doing, which they should, because this is more of like a Netflix style show rather than like an ongoing series.
Right.
I think that they would be smart enough not to tell. Here, hold on. Sorry if this gets noisy. There we go. Turn that off. Let me jump to the end here. See if it'll let me. Come on. Oh, commercials. Oh, Amazon. We're so helpful. I bought my dad for his birthday, because it was his birthday today. I bought him a 4 set of the brothers from Tombstone.
Oh, nice.
Because like he loves that stupid Tombstone movie so much.
Oh, the movie Tombstone?
Yeah, sorry. The movie that had Doc Holliday and Wyatt Earp.
Yeah.
And it's
that movie's awesome.
Yeah, it's an amazing movie. It's great.
That guy gets shot in the stomach and then he's like, no, I'll just sit here and die.
Exactly, right? Okay, hold on. Let me back this up a little bit. Here, okay, I don't know. I probably forgot that I shared this on screen share.
Every time I hear Tombstone, I just think of pizza.
What do you want on your tombstone? Pepperoni and cheese.
Yes, please.
They self-destruct. Oh, did they?
So there's the Chronicom.
So he disappears, though. He like melts.
And then Coulson is just on the ground, passed out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the very end of the episode, we see his eyes flicker like he needs to be rebooted.
Yeah, like, and I wonder if they're going to make it to be like, you know, he's more than a Chronicon or something, whatever.
A Chronicom.
Chronicon. Sounds like something from Transformers for some odd reason.
So let's see. This is about the end of the scene coming up.
Yeah, I don't think they have any shots of Gemma, because I'm kind of like
that'd be interesting.
So, wow. Yeah, that'd be really cool to see that unfold. Also, we don't know if Coulson's like, well, we do know that there's a backup on the ship. So they can just bring his LMD over there, reboot him, and he should be fine.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. I was like, does he like upload to the mainframe every day to where
does he have Wi-Fi?
Exactly. Like,
can we reboot him remotely?
So it could pretty much be like Mr. Smith, and they could just make 1 million of them, and then he'll just be like, running around killing people. So,
oh man, Coulson, they did you dirty, dude.
He bring him back to life.
Oh well,
what a life! What a life to live, though. Or just to think of his history from start to finish is pretty epic.
I was sad they never brought him back in the movies. I was just like
Captain. What was it? Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It was good to see him in that.
Mm-hmm. I was hoping though he'd be like some part of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something.
But yeah.
There's
not really S.H.I.E.L.D. in the movies anymore.
Nah.
Yeah, it's really funny. They keep like having S.H.I.E.L.D., but it's like kind of in the background that nobody knows about, because was it? And even in the second Avengers movie, there's S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
And it's after Winter Soldier, so
right.
It's weird. Like, because they have, Fury comes back with the helicarrier, and they got Maria there, and
now we may get Sword.
Yeah. I figure it's Sword next, but who knows? That stuff's so far ahead, so far in the future. It's sad.
Yeah,
man, I'm excited though, boy, to see what will come, fellas. Jesus, it is a tiny little speck of light at the end of the tunnel. That's what it is right now.
So far ahead. What do we get to see this year? We get to see one Marvel movie. We get to see Black Widow. Is that it?
Yes, if we see.
Yeah.
There's still half the year left, huh?
Yeah. I mean, Widow's ready. I mean, it's been ready since March, April? When was that? May, maybe?
I'm excited, but if you were going to ask me to wait for any of the Marvel movies, this one might have been it.
Yeah.
Because we don't have any expectations,
Yeah.
So if it turns out to be the next Iron Man, then yes, that's awesome.
But
But if not, yeah. But right now, I don't have this overwhelming, if this whole pandemic would have happened between Endgame and Infinity War, I would have lost my mind.
Oh my gosh. I feel like the world would have imploded.
What's crazy?
Black Widow is a nice pause, which is the reason they did it in the first place. But
I don't think it can be obviously an Iron Man or whatever. It could be a great movie. Don't get me wrong, but you'd need more, I think, than just this. I feel like this is. I don't know if you read Lord of the Rings, the last half of the last book is just them talking about the aftermath.
Yeah,
so I feel like this is kind of, even in comics, they do it a lot. So they'll have the main story in comics, and then there's a million offshoots of whatever large crisis is going on. So I feel like this is kind of an offshoot of what happened. Maybe we'll get a couple different timelines or time frames of where we see her weaving in and out of the story. But it's kind of sad. This is more like the button on the end of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sad
so
days.
Look forward. I still, look forward to seeing the rest of S.H.I.E.L.D. I hope you guys are looking forward to seeing the rest of S.H.I.E.L.D. as well. And, and keep us updated too. If you guys hear a new nerd news or whatever, obviously hit us up at Podbean or YouTube or wherever you listen to Yellow Spandex. Let's see. We had S.H.I.E.L.D. We talked about a few other things. It kind of makes me sad in a sense. I have to say that Josh, you got me worried now that S.H.I.E.L.D's not going to end good.
I don't think it's going to end poorly. I would just want more. I'd be like, this just wasn't a big enough, end on the tonic, but at the end of it.
True. What was last time? Last time we felt like this, it was Gravitron or Gravitonium Man. I forget what it was.
Yeah.
And
and
Peter
that was meant to
Petrelli's
be
brother.
the end. Yeah.
So it's Albert. So this time, let's see if we get some twists and turns, and you guys will follow along with us.
Yeah.
All right.
Until next time. Peace.